part 2 of my Inktober series. I'm so excited for this video. Before we jump in though, I wanted to recap my first video where I talk about the fear of perfection. I feel like that's a topic a lot of artists come face to face with whenever you're about to touch pen to paper and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a blank page, or I don't know, you have this big commission or this idea that you want to share, but you're like, what if it's not good enough? What if it sucks? And so that's what I talked about in that first video. I was drawing days 1 through 15, and I just kind of show you my process of how I go about drawing, and it was really fun. I loved creating that video, and it was also nice just as a reminder for myself and hopefully for you guys too, that when it comes to doing something you love, whether it's a hobby or even your job, it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to be bad at it the first couple of times that you do it. And the message that I wanted to share in that video is exactly that it's totally fine to be bad at something, and instead of just like beating yourself up for being bad at whatever it is that you're doing, enjoy the process, enjoy being imperfect, enjoy having fun and seeing all the silly outcomes that you have. And so I wanted to tie in that topic of embracing imperfection with today's topic, which is following through on your goals. I feel like these two go hand in hand because a lot of times when you have that fear of perfection, you end up not following through on your goals because it's like a vicious cycle. You're like, it's not perfect, it's not good enough, and that keeps you from continuing your project because you feel so much pressure. And because you feel this pressure, you're like, oh no, I'm not perfect and I'm not good enough, and it just feeds into that cycle. So I wanted to talk about a few ways that I combat that whole vicious cycle of feeling like my work isn't good enough, but also having this drive and desire to finish the projects and the goals that I set for myself. And hopefully you can walk away from this video feeling inspired and with some new tools, or maybe old tools, but with a fresh perspective on them that you can keep in your little toolkit whenever it is that you do start a new project, or even if you are working on one right now and you just feel stuck. I hope that it's a refresher that you can accomplish anything you want. You just have to remind yourself that there's some steps that you can take in order to look perfection in the face and say, I am good enough. My stuff is worth it, and finish everything that you want to accomplish. And I'll also be finishing up Inktober in this video, so I'll be drawing days 16th to 31, and I'm so excited. I'm like obsessed with the way everything is looking for my Inktober, and I don't think I mentioned it in my previous video, but just to keep things simple with Inktober and not to put so much pressure on myself, I decided to choose a character for my Inktober. That way it's kind of easy to know what I'm going to draw, who I'm going to draw, and just kind of like weave that prompt for the day into my characters. So I'm drawing cute little cozy ghosts, and they're adorable. It's been so much fun drawing them, and it's really fun to have this like constraint of a specific character that I can use for the prompts. So if you are doing some kind of drawing challenge, whether it's Inktober or it's another fun little drawing challenge, I think it's a great way to kind of relieve that pressure. Just choose a character that you feel that is easy to draw, that you can have fun with over and over, and you'll find out you end up being a lot more creative with that constraint. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome to a new blank page. I'm starting off with day 16. And the word is grungy. I really liked how this drawing turned out. It's so cute. I love how they all turned out, actually. But this one especially is like adorable because it's a little ghost trying to be grungy, but he's more cute than he is grungy. So I wanted to talk about setting intentions, which I think it's a really important process for when it comes to achieving your goals, and it probably gets overlooked often because of the excitement of wanting to accomplish your goals and just everything that comes with that. But I think it's really important for us to just think about what it means for you to accomplish that goal. Why are you setting that goal in the first place? What is it about it that is so important to you? Because I think that is kind of like your anchor point for coming back whenever you feel unmotivated, because that definitely does happen. Like, there were times during this Inktober where I was just like, why am I doing this? It's taking a lot of time. I'm getting tired of coming up with ideas. But my why for this project and these videos in general was to just overcome and look perfection in the face and not be so afraid of things not being perfect. It's definitely something that I struggle with because it's caused me just to freeze up and choose to not continue working on personal projects, or even sometimes at work it's caused me to be slower than I should be because of wanting every detail to look amazing and to be perfect. And so that's my why. It's just to be able to do things and feel confident about the outcome, even if it's not perfect, and embracing that. I definitely think it's something that you can take a moment to think about. You can write it on a little sticky note and put it on your desk or your wall or your mirror when you start working on that specific project that you're doing. And it's a good reminder just to come back to every day, look at it and be like, okay, this is my why. We got this. Let's tackle this goal. And I also think it's really great to find sources of inspiration as well. Your source of inspiration could be a specific person that you look up to. It could be even a picture of you when you're little and just thinking about your dreams and your goals that you had as a child and wanting to make the child version of you proud, of things that you are accomplishing as an adult. I think it's very powerful to have a visual of that because, like I said, it's also something that you can come back to and it can tie into your why. You could have a picture of somebody that you look up to and you want to follow in their footsteps. It could be even a vision board, something that you can use as your anchor throughout the process, because that will definitely keep you motivated and keep you going. Woohoo! We are on today's 19, 20, and 21. So now that you have your intention down, it's time to think about how you're going to break your goal down into bite-sized and manageable steps, because it's not just about writing down your goal and then starting on it, which you can do, and I'm sure that there's people that are able to do that. But I think something that helps a lot whenever times get tough or it starts to get a little bit mundane and boring is having action items for your goal, because it makes you have a plan and it kind of makes it feel more real. You start thinking about everything that you need to do to get closer to achieving your goal. For example, with my Inktober videos and my drawings, I made a bunch of to-dos that included things like doing research for the different prompts, finding the definitions of the prompts as well, then creating sketches and mind maps. I also thought about whether I wanted to create a single character or if I wanted to just kind of wing each drawing and have it unique on its own. And then finding ways to simplify the filming and editing process, because it definitely takes a long time to get everything done, especially when there's a time frame. Like this video, I wanted to have it up by the 31st, which is still the goal, so we're kind of on track, so I'm very happy about that. But it's just about finding ways to simplify the task and make it less daunting, especially when you have so much going on in life and life doesn't stop. So that's the thing. You just gotta keep going. You gotta find ways to make it feel like you can actually achieve your goal. And I found that breaking my goals down into everyday tasks and sometimes even scheduling them in my calendar, they were so helpful. Like it was kind of like a guide for me to know what to do that day, what was the most important action item on my list, and what was going to get me to the next step. It's also a great way not to get distracted, because something that would happen to me often is that I would write down a goal for myself, I'd start working on it, and I wouldn't write little to-dos, I would just wing it. And then I'd see another project that I wanted to work on or something else that just caught my eye, and I would be like, ooh, that looks really fun. I want to do that. So writing down all of these steps made it feel more like a commitment and made it less scary, because obviously committing to something long-term can be hard to do. But when you see that there's little steps that you can take to get closer to achieving your goals, it makes you feel so much more confident in yourself. I also recommend tracking your progress. For me, my progress was shown by filling in my blank pages in my sketchbook, and that feeling of seeing my pages filled and flipping through and watching each page be filled each day was so satisfying. I felt so confident. I felt really proud of myself, and it was just such an awesome thing to see, because all of my hard work was coming to something, and I was seeing the results of the time and effort that I put into each drawing.
It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell worry goodbye. It's not what we see.
Woohoo! We've made it to day 22. I love how this drawing came out. It is so cozy. I just want to be there. You'll see once it's done. It's so cute. I also really loved the rhino sketch. It's adorable. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with the way the drawings are. They're just so cute. Part of creating your goals is finding systems and routines that work for you and that will keep you motivated in the long term. It's kind of like a form of, I guess, like almost investing in yourself. I love this part because you get to personalize it and it's super fun. I recommend finding a routine and creating one that you know you can stick to. Make it really special. Create your dream scenario for getting things done. You know, create that environment that makes you feel like anything is possible and just immerse yourself in it. And know that you can totally change whatever doesn't work for you. It's all about trial and error and seeing what fits, what doesn't. But the most important part is just figuring out what it is that gets you in that mood to want to put in the work. What gets you excited, what inspires you, and add that into your routine. For me, some really important parts of my ritual to get ready for drawing for Inktober was opening my planner and writing down my to-dos for that day. Also making a cozy coffee or a latte and changing into clothes that made me feel excited and confident and just like, you know, I would look in the mirror and be like, yes, girl, you look good today. Like, let's get to work. So I think that's super important. It's just finding things that work for you, that make you feel really good about yourself and kind of almost help you visualize yourself achieving that goal. Like, it is just such a fun thing, creating a little ritual for you that makes you feel like, yes, I'm doing the thing, I'm doing it, and it makes you feel proud and excited on what you're working on. Like I said, this is 100% personalizable. It's 100% customizable. And it's just so special, it's something that you get to do every single day. And so why not make it fun? Why not make it special? Why not make it something that is going to motivate you, Whether it's lighting a candle, it could be doing a mini meditation before doing a task, maybe even journaling. There's just so many endless possibilities that you could put into creating a routine, and that's the coolest part. I really, really love that. So don't be afraid to create one for yourself and even change it as you go. Our needs, our wants, our desires, throughout time they change, and it's really important to learn how to adapt and to listen to what it is that you need in that moment. So if one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? Opening my planner and drinking a cup of coffee isn't really doing it anymore for me. I need to think of something else that's going to get me in the mood. Experiment and find what works for you. Find what gets you to that feeling of, I can do this, I'm ready, like I feel the magic of accomplishing my goals. Something that I think goes hand in hand with creating a routine and a ritual is finding an accountability partner. I think this is almost essential to achieving any goal you want, because having that person that you can go to when you are feeling unmotivated or just kind of like lost and you don't know where to turn next, it's so helpful, almost like having a coach. Imagine that what it is that you're doing is almost like you're training as an athlete. You need somebody that can help guide you in the direction that you want to go. They don't have to be an expert. They could be your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, whoever it is, your best friend. It could even be on your Instagram stories. Just checking in, updating that person, letting them know where you are. It's so powerful. And I love it because when you do let them know what it is that you're doing, it makes you feel even more motivated to achieve your goal. You're like, okay, I've told them that this is what I'm going to do today, so I need to do it because I don't want to feel like I've let them down and that I've let myself down, So that's exactly what I did with this project as well. I found myself a little accountability buddy, and I would let her know what I was doing, what my goals were for that day. Whoever it is, just make sure that you can trust them and that you know that they're going to be there for you and they're going to make you feel comfortable and they're going to cheer you on. You want somebody that's going to be in your corner. And I swear this is the best thing you can do for yourself. Just get yourself a mini cheerleader and you will be on top of the world, I'm telling you. When I got to day 25, I felt so excited because I was like, okay, I've made it over the hump. I feel like I'm getting closer to finishing Inktober, and I love how everything's turning out. I was feeling super confident, and that was amazing. So I wanted to segue into the importance of creating rewards for yourself when it comes to accomplishing your goals, because we all know sometimes it just gets hard, it gets boring, or you just start losing motivation and you sometimes don't even realize how much you've put into your goal, how much closer you've gotten to your goal. And I think it's really important to take time to appreciate all of your efforts and realize what you're doing matters, and know that it is worth it, and that if it's important to you, you should 110% go for what it is that you want to accomplish. And something that keeps me motivated is taking time to celebrate all of my efforts. A few things that I did to reward myself while I was doing my Inktober was to take days off when I felt like I just needed a break. And that was amazing because I would come back even stronger, more motivated, and it felt so good, you know. I feel like I'm saying this as if I was like training for the gym, but it's true. Like, I genuinely felt so good coming back when I took time off to just like refresh my brain and rest. That's super important. Another reward that I would give myself would be to go outside and take a walk and just enjoy all of the leaves that are on the ground and the color of the trees. Oh my gosh, I think it's just so beautiful getting to be alive in this time of the year. I love how the leaves crunch under your feet. I love the way the air is so crisp. I feel like I'm walking in a movie, and I would make it even more special by listening to a song that makes me feel like I'm the main character of my movie, and that was always really fun. I would also go to one of my favorite streets here in Vancouver and just look at all of the shops, go window shopping, and look at items that are on sale or things that I wanted to buy in the future, whether it was a dress or maybe a new outfit. That's definitely one of my favorite ways to motivate myself, is just going out to see what there is in the world of retail. I love shopping, and sometimes just like window shopping can feel just as good as shopping for real. So take these rewards as seriously as you do your to-dos, because it will genuinely make you feel so much more excited to achieve your dreams. You'll feel literally rewarded for your efforts, and it's a great way just to re-inject some confidence into yourself when you feel like you're coming to a slow, or you might feel like what you're doing doesn't really matter, or you question why you're even doing it in the first place. You know, it makes it feel real, and it makes it feel like, okay, you know what? I deserve to celebrate everything that I've done so far because I'm killing it. I'm doing the thing and I'm getting things done. Also, if you couldn't tell, for day 26, I made a little reference, an ode to Edward Munch and his painting, The Scream. I was trying to figure out how I could incorporate that into one of my drawings, and I thought camera was perfect because it's almost like they're in the same pose. So I thought it was super cute, and then just kind of like referencing Vancouver and all of the beautiful nature. And then for day 27, I referenced Over the Garden Wall. I love that series. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, please watch it because it's so beautiful, and it's this little drawing in specific is referenced to when they're going to Pottsfield, and I thought it was adorable. Yay, we've finally made it to the last 2 pages of my Inktober. I'm so happy. Everything is so adorable and super cute, and it was really cool just seeing how loose I got with my sketches, how much more comfortable I became with drawing whatever it was that I had sketched and not worrying about making it perfect, and just enjoying the process of drawing. I think that was the biggest accomplishment, of just feeling like, you know what, I'm gonna draw today and I'm gonna have fun. Like, I'm not gonna have fear or anxiety about wanting it to be perfect. So yay. Since we're on the last 2 pages of Inktober, I wanted to talk about staying motivated because that can definitely be hard. And of course, there's a million things that you can try, and sometimes it feels like nothing works. And I think something great that you can do for yourself when you just feel kind of like in a rut and you've been trying to chase that goal or chase that dream is learn to rest. Learn to rest, but not to quit. I love that quote because it's very practical and it's advice that you can put into play, and it will actually make you feel so much better. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and change tasks. Figure out what else that you can do that you can just kind of shift your mind over to and focus on something new for a little bit. But remember to go back to what it is that you're doing and finding your why. This is why we set intentions and why we write little sticky notes and stick them on our mirrors or our refrigerators or even our planners. It's just remembering why it is that you're trying to accomplish your goal and why it matters to you. You know, why are you doing this in the first place? Is it because you want to inspire people? Is it because you want to be remembered in the community for a specific thing? Was there a life-changing moment that happened to you that makes you feel like, no, I need to do this. I need to get this done because this happened to me and I don't want that thing to have no meaning, you know? So always go back to your why. Sometimes even just changing perspective can make a huge difference. You know, I think that a lot of times when you're on this journey of setting your goal and moving towards each to-do and crossing every task off, it can lead to you becoming very serious and kind of tunnel vision about your goal and what it is that you're doing and you're accomplishing. But I definitely think it's important to remember to have fun with it. Remember to be playful. Incorporate play into your daily life and find ways to make it feel less serious and less daunting, you know. Before I would actually go into my sketchbook and start recording every drawing, I would do a little life drawing right before that, or still life, and just like really quickly sketch out whatever it is that I had in front of me. So sometimes I would do kind of like a quick gesture drawing of like a corner of my desk, or I would go into Pinterest and look up food or houses or environments or people or characters. I would look up different things and just draw them like really quickly and get comfortable with drawing. And that really helped me so much because I would feel more confident in my drawing skills. I wouldn't be so afraid to make lines so perfect, and I felt super warmed up. So that's something that helped me stay motivated, and I also incorporated it into my daily routine of my Inktober's, because then I'd have just kind of like a little exercise to do, almost like, you know, a real exercise. Sometimes it's good to warm up and get your body flowing and your blood moving through your veins before doing a really intense workout. And now we are on day 31. Woohoo! I love that the last word was landscape because I had been waiting to do a haunted house. I love drawing houses and environments. I'm really not that great at it, but I think it's just so therapeutic and so satisfying. If I didn't choose to be an animator, I would love to be a painter or a background artist and do environments because I just think they're so beautiful. Like, it's a part of the industry in animation that I feel like sometimes gets overlooked, but I just think it's amazing. I love watching people draw environments and buildings and trees. Oh my gosh, I love watching people draw trees. Trees are so hard to draw and they're so fascinating to me. I love them. So yeah, just find little things that keep you excited about your dreams and your goals. Make weekly vision boards, or I don't know, every 30 days, just kind of reflect on what you've been doing, what's been working, what hasn't been working, and try to take that as feedback, almost like create a little feedback cycle for yourself so that you have something to measure and to see, okay, this has been working, this hasn't. I can start incorporating these things and XYZ. And before you know it, you'll be back on track. So just remember, goal setting doesn't have to be scary. And following through on your goals also doesn't have to be this huge feat. There's so many ways to make it fun and exciting and to create a new and fresh perspective on this journey. And know that I believe in you and I know you've got this and you're gonna do amazing things. We did it! I'm so happy. We've made it to the end, and I couldn't be more proud and more excited about all of the drawings that I've made during my Inktober. I think this is one of the first times I've actually finished Inktober, so I feel like I'm on top of the world. It's so awesome to see all of my drawings and to see which ones were my favorite, which ones could have had a little bit more work, but it's also such a great feeling to see the ones that turned out amazing, and I'm so excited, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this little video, and yeah, I'll let you enjoy the rest of these drawings. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this video was helpful and fun to watch, and just kind of like a little reminder of things that you can do to make your goals feel more achievable. So whether it is finding an accountability buddy that you can share your day-to-day processes with, or your little achievements with, breaking your goals down into smaller steps that feel more bite-sized and manageable, or even creating like a routine or a system that works for you and makes you feel in that mindset for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve that day. There's literally endless things that you can do to get yourself ready for achieving your goals. It really doesn't have to be this scary thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I have a huge mountain to climb. Just take it day by day. And if you guys have any tips or advice for making your goals and your dreams easier to achieve, definitely leave it in the comments, because I love learning about all those things. I think it's super fun, and I like applying it to my life and seeing how I'm able to progress. So maybe it'll help somebody else too. But with that, I would like to just say thank you again for watching and being here. And if you did participate in Inktober, I would love to see your drawings. So you can tag me on Instagram at Claudia Luna Priego. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay cozy. Adios.